How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to week 2 of the live webinars. My name's Tim, if you don't know me already. I am the Box Hill Academic and Language Advisor. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to week 2 of the live webinars. My name's Tim, if you don't know me already. I am the... Excuse me, I just accidentally left YouTube open. So, great start, Tim. Solid work. So I have got YouTube open. I've got my INT Blogspot website open. I've got the Google Plus site open. And I've also got Facebook open if you want to ask your question on Facebook. So, what are we doing this week? We're going to do some stuff about the Google Suite and the Google Chrome Web Store and how you can use that to find some tools that will really help you with your study. And we're also going to look at Gremla, which is a great new tool that I'm sure a lot of students are already using. We're just going to look at the free version and the Chrome Web Store add-on, which doesn't work in Google Docs just yet. And I say just yet because it will be available at some point. There's no way that something as influential and useful as Gremla will hold out from Google for too long before they allow it to be used in their document writer. So let's get into it, shall we? So we're going to start with just an overview, quick overview of what is the Google Suite that I keep talking about. So there's 4 main applications, 3 that you would sort of recognize from other sorts of applications. The first one is Docs. The second one is Slides. And so the first one is Docs, which is like Microsoft Word. The second one is Sheets, which is like Microsoft Excel. And then the third one is Slides, which is like Microsoft PowerPoint. And the fourth one is Google Forms, which Microsoft has no equivalent of, which is a survey and quiz maker that's incredibly awesome. I can't put it any other way. So I'm just going to screen share and show you what I'm talking about. So the first one that I've got here is Google Docs. And I used this last week in last week's presentation. And I've got an assignment up here from a previous student, which I'm going to use throughout this webinar to show you some examples. So the layout is very similar to Word. The only thing that you're probably missing is a save button because everything saves automatically in Drive. Now, I should probably start there. So what is Drive? Well, Google Drive is basically an online storage hub for all of your applications. So for all the applications you use and for a whole bunch of documentation. So I say to people, picture this as like an online hard drive. And you get 15 gig of free space. And you can see there I've taken up 166 meg with my mail, 5 meg with my photos, and 4 gig with the files that are sitting here in Drive. Now, what do I put in here? Well, I put a lot of student work in here so that I can communicate with students online and look at their work online, wherever I am. And I also put all my presentations on here. I put forms on here that I've created to help students out. I put so much information on here, you've got no idea. I probably wouldn't even fit on a normal USB, a lot of it. So, and it's just about making things easily transportable. Now, with this, you can basically eradicate the need for USBs as long as you've got an internet connection. I'll even show you how you can use this stuff without an internet connection. So, like I said, very similar to an online hard drive. So you just can drag and drop stuff there. You can create new files from Drive. You can create all sorts of new stuff from this central area. But every time you come into Docs, Sheets, Slides, or Forms, it will all save in your Google Drive. You can also upload PDFs, videos, audio, anything that you want to upload that's a digital file will be able to be stored on cloud storage. And you get 15 gig free, which is probably the best one that we've got. I think Microsoft offers 10 gig for free on their one. All right, so it's very similar to Word, and probably the thing that has that Word doesn't have, first of all, is the ability to share and edit stuff together really easily, which I know Word Online does, but this stuff is like ultra easy. I'm talking, you copy that link, you come to Facebook, you paste it somewhere, and hey presto, the person who clicks on that link can view your document. And now that's a very important part of this. So in the sharing thing, you've got three options. You've got can view, which means the person can just look at it. They can add comments. Now, when I say can view, they can also download the document and make their own copy, but they can't affect the original. And then the comment, they'll be able to add comments, but that won't really affect the original other than to just add a whole bunch of comments on the side. And then to edit means that they can actually edit a document. So I can take this link and I can post it on my website, which I know you can't. Oh, yeah, you can see it at the moment. Sorry. I can post there and say example assignment for webinar. And anyone who clicks on that will then be taken to that document. Anyone who clicks on that would then be taken to this document. Oh, it's not going to actually come up as a HTML thing, which is great. So anyone who copies that, puts it into a new page, give it a sec to fire up. We'll then be able to come in and edit it. Now, what's the purpose of this? Well, if you are in a group and you're doing things together, then you can actually come in and edit things at the same time. So I'm just going to jump in on my phone and you can see a green cursor has come up. And I'm just going to type in next to work. I'm just going to write hello world. And I'm doing that on my phone, not on my computer. So anywhere you have an internet connection, multiple people can jump in and edit this document as long as you've given them access. So that's the huge thing, right? Because you can share amongst groups or you can share it with me. And, you know, feel free to jump in on that link because I've allowed it to edit. So feel free to jump in on that link now and just type in hello world or type in, you know, hi Tim, this is me or something like that. But basically, you could share this work with anyone that you want to be able to edit the document, or you could share it with me. If you wanted me to check over your work, you could just go share, punch in my email address. You wouldn't even have to punch in my email address. You could just copy the link, make sure you give me editing rights so that I can give you correction. Because if you just leave it at view, then I'm not going to be able to do this. So you copy the link and then paste it to me on Facebook and I'll be able to edit your work and you'll be able to see me edit your work as you go. So that's Docs dealt with, right? So it's just like Microsoft Word. You've got all the same stuff, tables, you can insert stuff. Probably the cool thing about this that Microsoft Word doesn't have, as far as I'm aware, is it has access to Google Drawing. So if you need to draw in like arrows or symbols or shapes, right? So if you needed to like just scribble something down, you could. For example, your signature, like if you needed to put in your signature into something, you could have a go at trying to put your signature in. Oh, that wasn't a bad effort, I don't think. And you can input anything that you can draw. So that's pretty useful if you need to sign things and you're pretty handy with your mouse to be able to draw, or you've got a tablet to draw on. That's probably one thing I know of that is really useful, just to be able to insert. A lot of the times people want to be able to just insert like arrows to point out things in tables. And so you can just draw arrows, make them whatever color you want, and you can make it whatever end you want. You can make it different size arrows, save and close, and you can insert and resize images really, really easily. So that's probably one thing that Microsoft doesn't have that Google does that's really, really useful, especially when you're using charts and table information. Now, the other thing that we're going to come back to later on is how you can actually insert charts from sheets, which is another thing the Word does not have as far as I'm aware. So let's get on to that, right? So let's go to probably the most powerful tool Google's got, and this is forms. So you create surveys, get responses, and then what you end up with is a sheet with all your responses, and this is Google Sheets. And why this is so much more powerful than anything Microsoft has created, it's got all the same bells and whistles, and you can also get a whole bunch of add-ons, which I'll describe later on. But probably the most powerful thing that Google has got is it automatically creates charts and data. So when I did this survey, I looked at all this and saw where people would want these IELTS classes to run. And it's as simple as just clicking a button and it'll add your chart. And I'm going to leave that there for later. And so what that shows is I've got 50%, over 50% of ELGA people that responded to this survey, 37% from the city and 8.3% from Nelson. So you could put that in, and if I was doing a report or something like that, and I could come here, insert chart from sheets, come to this chart, come to this sheet, and import that chart. Now that sort of usability to be able to use cross functions like that, I don't think is available on Microsoft Online. And if it is, feel free to correct me. But it's something that I think you guys could really, really use, especially in nursing, when you later on have to do some survey work, and in business and community services when you have to do some survey work as well. Right, so that's Sheets. Forms is a really powerful free survey tool. And in the settings, it's actually got this new function where you can assign points, and you can assign points and actually have a marked quiz that feeds into a sheet that you then can use as marks if you needed to do some sort of a version of a quiz or something like that. And it's definitely something I'll start using in my online assessment for students. The last one is PowerPoint or slides. And this thing is amazing because it's Google, so it owns YouTube, and you can insert videos just from searching YouTube. You can search it inside of the application and add videos in. So really powerful tool. You can easily, while you're working, I know you can do this on PowerPoint too, but if you're just online working and you needed a picture, I think the one I had up was, oh, there it is, was a 3D version of a cell. So you can pick up a picture, copy the image, come back, and you can do this in Word or in Docs or in Sheets, whatever you need to, and just paste the image. So in Docs, and I know you can do this in PowerPoint, but the fact is you're on the internet, you're working, you can keep multiple tabs open and just keep working instead of having to, you know, download the image or drag and drop it into Word. You can just search for what you need in the middle of your research and drop it in really easily into a Docs document. So that's probably it for the Google Suite. We're about halfway through. So really the main things here is being able to share, have a conversation, and to really just be able to share work with me so that I can give you some feedback before you hand work in. The one thing I didn't address was the Chrome Web Store. So what this is you can see up the top of my screen, hopefully, there's a whole bunch of little icons. There's a whole bunch of icons across the top of the screen. And what these are little add-ons to Chrome so that I can add things like Google URL shortener, will shorten this long URL into a shortened Google thing, URL. Text Help Read and Write is one that I'll show you in Docs. And this is a powerful tool that we've actually got at Box Hill on all the computers, but it's got a Chrome add-on where it'll actually read work back to you. It's
HLTEN 401B, work in the nursing profession. Contents. Answer 1, social demographic change is free.
Now you might go, Tim, what's the
Australian aged more than 65 years.
What's the purpose of that? Well, imagine you've just written a 1,500 word assignment and then you need to proofread it. Well, you can make yourself a cup of tea, hit play, and it'll read it back to you. That's a really powerful tool. Now, the way you get these tools is to just come to the Chrome Web Store. So you just type in Chrome Web Store. And the ones I've added on are RefMe, which is the one up in the top right-hand corner, which is the RefMe web clipper. Text Help Read and Write. Which is the purple one there with the puzzle piece, which is up the top here in the center. And the other one I've got is Gremla. And Gremla doesn't work with Google Docs just yet, but it will eventually, this one second from the bottom. And what these little add-ons do is just allow you to carry out things on the page you're on. Another really useful one I've got is Google Keep, which is like notes on your phone. And it'll actually save the page you're on, and you can take a note like read later. And that'll all save to Google Drive as well. So, and you can open it in the application and you can see all my notes. So what I'd like you to try and do with all this stuff, and I know it's a big adjustment, but it's much, much better than Microsoft as far as I'm aware. Like I was using Microsoft when I was studying, and I have swapped completely over to this because of the functionality and the ease of sharing information. And also the amount of add-ons that are available in the Chrome Web Store is endless. People are building applications and add-ons every day. So what I want you to do is to just, you know, you don't have to have a new email account. You can just go create Google account and come to account creation and use an existing Yahoo, Hotmail. You could even use your student email if you were using your student email. Create the account and you'll get access to all these applications, and you won't really look back once you get used to it, I don't think, because it's just absolutely amazing. And on top of all of that, all of this stuff functions functions on the phone as well. So you can you can see I've already got that application over there, but you can have Drive open on your phone, upload and download things quite easily, and you can go into Google Docs and edit stuff on the fly. You can also keep stuff offline. So you can see down the bottom here, I've got available offline. Oh, just had an error. So what it means is when I'm offline, I can still edit the document, and then when I get back online, it'll update with all my edits. So all these apps are on here for you to use. You can see I've got Google Keep there too. Yes, I was applying for a passport. So it's just really, really handy across all applications, across all different types of devices. So let me get that out of the way. On top of all this, I want to introduce you to Gremla. If you're not already using this, you should be. It's a free service. You can upgrade to premium, and a lot of students I know have actually upgraded to premium. I find it a bit expensive. I think it's about $13 or $14 per month or something to that effect. I find that a bit expensive because I find the free one pretty good. So when I'm looking at student work, the first thing I do is actually drop their work here into Grammarly, and it's a lot like Word's grammar checker, but you can see here it's a little bit more advanced. It'll offer multiple options. So, and it'll go through the whole document, and it'll give you good reasons about why it is that they've chosen that. The noun phrase comprehensive, efficient, and transparent process seems to be missing a determiner before it. Consider adding an article, as in a or the. So it gives you a really good reason as to why it's changing your grammar, which is a great learning tool for language learners. And for you guys that are like doing assignments, this is a great way to just check over your work, and you can implement changes really quite easily. Like you just click on the change and it'll implement the change. Oh, it's gone a bit nuts on me there. That's all right. So what does this look like when you log in? Well, if you just go to Gremla, it'll take a little while to load because it's loading the editor. You'll be asked to create an account, and when you come in, this is what it will look like. So you can have all sorts of different applications. You can see here that I could add it to my Mac if I wanted to, and I've already got it added to Chrome. Hopefully it will be added onto Docs at some point. You can go premium if you want to be able to get further access to their advanced checks. So they have premium checks where they basically proofread your document a bit more stringently. There's 24/7 support. You know, it also gives you an application that will integrate with Microsoft Office, which are much more powerful than just Microsoft Office's grammar check. And you can see here the plan here is about $12 per month. I think it's a bit expensive, but some students have been using it, and the prices are always coming down. And you can also get a free premium upgrade for a month if you suggest premium to a whole bunch of friends. But basically, this application is one of the most is the most powerful grammar checker on the market at the moment. It not only gives you just your usual spell check, it gives you really insightful information about why it's changing the grammar. It's not just going, oh, you know, change this because of certain things. It's actually telling you because you need to add in an article or you need to change something. So get on, log in, try it out, and try it out with your next piece of work. And I would love to see people sharing that and using those applications to be able to do their assignments. And share your work with me on Google Docs. So you can add it to this email that's up here, the timothy.scholl@gmail, or you can send it to my usual email, the t.scholl@boxhill, or you can just send it to me on Facebook. So that's about it for today, guys. We've finished up a bit sooner than usual, which is good. We've gotten through a lot of different material. I just wanted you to see how flexible these applications are and how useful they can be while you're studying, and how much technology has adapted to education, and how much you can use it to actually sort of improve your writing, and also be able to use tools to get you know, dictionary and thesaurus happening as well. And how you can share work and collaborate easier with people, with me, with fellow students, with teachers, and a lot of the people I know using these applications find it really easy to share information with me and to be able to get corrections and feedback really quickly and continue their work. So that's all from today's broadcast. I'll see you next week. I'm going to start doing these on Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. After you finish your classes, you can jump online and join in the fun. I will talk to you next week.